we'll go with 10:06. And we'll kick it off with the roll call.
Governor Lombardo,
Here.
Attorney General Ford,
Here.
Secretary Aguilar.
Here.
Let the record reflect we have a quorum.
All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 2, the first opportunity for public comment. The first public comment period is limited to comments on items on the agenda. No actions may be taken upon a matter raised under the public comment period unless that matter itself has been specifically included on the agenda as an action item. The chair will impose a 3-minute time limit. Do we have any public comment there in Carson City?
No, sir, we don't.
Do we have any public comment here in Las Vegas? Are you aware of anybody on the phone or online? No? Tiffany?
No, sir, we don't have anybody on the line that I'm aware of.
Okay, let's move to agenda item number 3, approval of the January 13th, 2026 meeting minutes for possible action. Do we have any changes or concerns or comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
We have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. We'll move on to agenda item number 4, state vehicle purchases for possible action. Ms. Granmeyer.
Pursuant to NRS 334.010, no automobile may be purchased by any department, office, bureau, officer, or employee of the state without prior written consent of the State Board of Examiners. The first request is from the Colorado River Commission. The commission requests approval to purchase 2 vehicles for a total amount not to exceed $67,343. The next request is from the Department of Public Safety Investigation Division. The department requests approval to purchase 3 vehicles for a total amount not to exceed $150,116. The next request is from the Governor's Office, Office of Emergency Management. The office requests approval to purchase 1 vehicle for a total amount not to exceed $64,765. And the last request is from the State Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, Division of Environmental Protection. The department requests approval to purchase 2 vehicles for a total amount not to exceed $129,992. Are there any questions on any of these items?
Any questions?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Let's move on to agenda item number 5, authorization to contract with a current and or former state employee for possible action. Ms. Granmeyer.
This request is from the Nevada State Board of Pharmacy pursuant to NRS 333.705, subsection 1. The board requests to contract with a former employee, Patrick Conmay, to provide coordination of investigations of unlawful activities related to prescription drugs and controlled substances through a statewide contract with Marathon Staffing Group. Are there any questions on this item?
Any questions?
No question. Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Move on to agenda item number 6, request for recommendation of approval to the interim finance committee for an allocation amount for the contingency account for possible action. And let's take these separately. Ms. Granmeyer.
There are 5 requests for this agenda item pursuant to NRS 353.268. And the first request is from the Department of Human Services, Division of Public and Behavioral Health. The department requests a recommendation to the Interim Finance Committee for an allocation of $1,062,055 from the Interim Finance Committee contingency account to fund the costs of professional contract staffing. Are there any questions on this one?
Any questions?
Motion to approve 6A.
Motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Move on to 6B, please.
Okay, this request is from the Department of Human Services, Division of Public and Behavioral Health. The department requests a recommendation to the interim finance committee for an allocation of $447,000 from the interim finance committee contingency account to fund the payment of sanctions imposed by the 8th Judicial Court in Clark County. Are there any questions?
Do we have any questions?
Move approval.
All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. We'll move on to 6C.
This request is from the Governor's Finance Office Budget Division. The office requests a recommendation to the interim finance committee for an allocation of $5 million from the interim finance committee contingency account to restore the balance in the statutory contingency fund. Are there any questions on this one?
I do have a question.
Go ahead, General Ford.
Comment and question. Well, first off, thanks for placing this item on the agenda. We know from prior meetings that NDOC has faced significant tort claim amounts, and we also know we're defending a claim against state water engineer. We've had to retain counsel to defend against claims of $2 billion brought by private counsel for the failed Coyote Springs project. Trial is this year. So I appreciate you bringing this. I do have a question. I know we are sending this or requesting this to be sent to the statutory contingency fund. But with some of this relating to torts and the tort claim, I'm wondering why we aren't requesting it to be sent to the tort claims fund.
We do send some of the claims to the tort claim file, but if they exceed those dollars amounts in that account, then we have to move more to statutory. We've had some pretty heavy claims, and that's why they're coming out of statutory contingency. And I believe the tort claim, I don't have the balance in front of me, is, God, I want to say it's like 400,000 remaining for claims.
Right, Aaron, for the record, but that is the reason for my question. Why aren't we replenishing the tort claim fund with some of these
we
monies
can.
as opposed to that? I'm sorry?
We cannot replace the, replenish the tort claim until session.
You're saying we don't have the statutory authority to request some IFC money to replenish the tort claim fund. Is that what you're telling me?
That is correct.
Okay.
They do not, the tort claim does not have an appropriation, a direct appropriation, so that doesn't give us access to the IFC contingency.
Okay. So then what this means is you are asking money to go to statutory contingency, and if we have to bring claims that we are paying because of a tort settlement, you're just going to have to come out of the statutory contingency account.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, understood. I just wanted to get some clarification on that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Motion to approve 6C. Mr. Chairman.
No. You were nipping at the bud to get that motion. All right, we have a motion for approval on 6C. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, let's move on to 6D, Office of the Attorney General.
This request is from the Office of Attorney General. The office requests a recommendation to the interim finance committee for an allocation of $1,278,250 from the interim finance committee contingency account to cover the costs associated with the ongoing Violence Against Women Act formula grant activities. Are there any questions on this one?
I have a question. So Attorney General Ford, I don't know if you want to refer to your staff, but has there been any information as to when the federal government will release the 2025 numbers?
I don't. For the record, Craig Newby, First Assistant Attorney General. I do not have a recent update on that from the past 3 to 4 weeks in terms of a timetable when those funds are going to be ultimately released.
Craig, do you have any idea when they released 2024? How long it took for the release of that?
I would have to follow up subsequently after this meeting to
Okay.
answer that question.
Yeah, Governor, my chief of staff, Teresa Benitez Thompson, is generally the one who handles these issues. And so we can get her on the line if you want that question answered.
No, I mean, they can answer it to me individually.
Okay.
Absolutely. We'll follow up with you
I'm gonna
offline.
hold up this for that.
Okay.
That was just information for me anyway. So, I'll entertain a motion for approval if there are no further comments.
Motion to approve item 6D.
All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. All right, let's move on to 6E, State Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, Division of Forestry.
This request is from the State Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, Division of Forestry. The department requests a recommendation to the Interim Finance Committee for an allocation of $3,143,971 from the Interim Finance Committee contingency account to cover in-state emergency response and fire suppression expenses. Are there any questions on this one?
Yes, for the record, Governor Lombardo, is there somebody from the forestry there in your audience?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Governor. Casey, State Forester Fire Warden for the Nevada Division of Forestry.
Morning, Casey. I
Good
see you haven't
morning.
left. I see you haven't left yet.
I have not, but this will be my last meeting.
Hey, Casey, hopefully you got prepped on what my question is gonna be, but I just wanted to get a sense. I'm looking at the spreadsheet associated with monies owed from the feds, approximately $3.5 million. And I know this is the reimbursement, the way they operate the scheme. Do you have any idea when the rest of that monies will come to fruition?
Thanks for the question again, for the record, Casey, I don't. They've been paying and every day new money is coming in. But if you actually look at the aged report on the back, some of them are 700 days old. We've been following up. Some of them are only recently sent out this week. They've been paying on some, not on others. But most everything has been moving through their system. So I don't have a good date for when those are coming. We do continue to press on them to pay, especially the older ones that have been sitting out there. There's one that's been out there for quite some time that I recall off the top of my head.
Okay, so the process is moving. It's not stale, right?
No, every single day these numbers changed. If you had me pull them today, everything has changed. The amount of money, the amount of cash on hand in the out-of-state budget, the amount of bills we've received in and are looking at, the amount of invoices that we're pushing out for billing. Every day this thing changes. We don't actually update that spreadsheet every day because it takes a little work to pull all the data out of the system. But even since we submitted this, at the time of submittal, it was 3.1 million in bills and foreseeable expenses. Today, it's $5.1 million in bills sitting out there to be paid, some of which then turn into reimbursables. As you know, many of the in-state fires are not reimbursable. That's the issue with this budget account.
Okay, then I was also aware, I don't know how long ago, it doesn't matter, but part of the issue was on our side at the state, right? Was there a failure to submit invoices in a timely fashion? And I just want to make sure that's not still occurring.
That is not, sir. That's what the audit brought up. Part of that was us needing, as I had stated before, we needed that system in place, the system that actually sends the bills out. In October of 2024, that system was able to invoice back to our federal and state partners. Since then, we've invoiced $53 million in reimbursables across both accounts. We move every day. When this was pulled, I think we were at 35 million. Today it's at 53. Everything is moving. Part of the issue, we are current as far as invoiceables up to the last 2 fiscal years. Our issue on most all of those invoiceable things, some of them are cost shares, in-state cost shares, those take a lot longer. The out of states, we have to consolidate all the bills. If we sent multiple assets to California, we have, through our agreements with the Wildland Fire Protection Program, we have been really tightening down the deadlines for the local government entities to get those bills in timely so that we can pay them within the 180 days that's required of us by our federal agreement, and then get them out for reimbursement. So we are closer than ever to meeting timelines. In fact, we're much farther ahead than our federal partners in that regard today. But no, we don't have anything. We are still continuing to look through things. As I sent in our last report, everything that was identified in the audit has been sent out, but I think it was 4 bills from 2024. We caught some errors. Those had been sent out they had been processed for invoicing. It's roughly about $2.5 million. That's all from the audit that has not been sent out for reimbursement. Everything else is current fires, current dates.
All right, thank you, Casey, and thank you for the information and congratulations on your, I don't know if it's a promotion or not, but your new place of residence.
Thank you, sir. I will very much miss the state of Nevada, and I appreciated all the time I've had here. So
And we appreciated your service, so take care.
thank you.
All right, with that, if there are no further questions, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Motion to approve 6E.
We have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, we'll move on to agenda item number 7, request for approval of payment from the statutory contingency account for possible action. Ms. Krim.
This request is from the Governor's Finance Office Budget Division pursuant to NRS 41.950 and NRS 41.970. The office requests the Board of Examiners to approve a payment of $110,000 from the statutory contingency account to Patience Rosso, representing the compensation for her wrongful conviction. Are there any questions?
I have none. You have any?
Motion to approve item number 7.
All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 8, request for approval of proposed state administrative manual changes. So action.
This request is from the Governor's Finance Office Budget Division pursuant to NRS 353.040. The office requests modifications to the policies and procedures of the State Board of Examiners adopted and collected in Chapter 800, Collective Bargaining, Section 808, Board of Examiners approval of the State Administrative Manual. Are there any questions on this item?
None here.
Move approval.
All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Motion passes. Sorry. Multitasking, Cisco. All right.
Busy time, sorry.
All right, so let's move on to agenda item number 9, approval of proposed leases. Possible action, Ms. Greenmeyer.
There are 4 leases under this agenda item for approval by the board. Are there any questions on these items?
No questions. Motion to approve.
Signify by saying
Aye.
motion passes. All right, let's move on to agenda item number 10, approval of proposed contracts for possible action.
There are 41 contracts under this agenda item. Are there any questions on any of these?
No questions. Motion to approve. Contract 1 through 41.
We have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We'll move on to agenda item number 11, approval of proposed master service agreements for possible action.
There are 8 master service agreements under this agenda item. Are there any questions on any of these items?
None here.
No questions. Motion to approve item number 11, 1 through 8.
For approval, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Okay, we'll move on to agenda item number 12, information item, clerk of the board of contracts.
There are 57 contracts within the threshold of $10,000 to $99,999 that were approved by the clerk of the board from December 13th, 2025 through January 9th, 2026. This item is informational. Are there any questions on any of these items?
Go ahead.
I just have a question on number 49. I just want to know who the podcast host is.
Number 49.
B and I would be the host.
No, is B and I in the room?
I was just wondering who the talent was. That's all.
Oh,
Oh, it's Director Sanchez. He's doing it himself.
We'll have to get back to you on that.
No, that.
No, the word talent is what you said.
No other questions. Thank you.
Informational. If there are no further comments, we'll move on to item number 13, information item reports. And let's take those separately.
The first report is from the Governor's Finance Office, Budget Division, pursuant to NRS Chapter 353. The division presents a reconciled fund balance report of the following accounts as of January 13, 2026. Please note the meeting materials include the specific amounts, while the approximate balances are as follows. Tort claim fund is 1.9 million. Statutory contingency account is 1.6 million. Stale claims account is 2.7 million. Emergency account is 162,000. Disaster relief account is 15.9 million. IFC contingency unrestricted general fund is 61 million. IFC contingency unrestricted highway fund is 1.6 million. IFC contingency restricted general fund is 147.9 million. IFC contingency restricted highway fund is 6.9 million. Extradition coordinator budget account 1002 is 1.6 million. This is informational. Are there any questions on any of these?
Any questions?
No.
Cisco?
No questions.
All right, let's move on to 13B.
This item is the Department of Motor Vehicles Complete Streets Program Report pursuant to NRS 482.1825. Subsection 2, the department shall certify monthly to the Board of Examiners the amount of the voluntary contributions collected for each county by department and its agent, and that the money has been distributed as provided in statute. This report covers the period October 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025. This item is informational. Are there any questions on any of these items?
Here.
Okay, since there are no questions, we'll close agenda item number 13. We'll move for the second opportunity of public comment. Do we have any public comment there in Carson City?
No, sir, we don't.
Do we have any here in Las Vegas? All right, anybody on the phone? Does it sound like?
There's two people on the phone, but I'm not sure if there's public comment.
If you're on the phone waiting for public comment, now is your time.
Okay.
Okay, all right, we'll close public comment and I'll make a motion for adjourn. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Yeah, right.